Hello and welcome to Dr. T's Algebra 2. In this video I'm going to convert a standard form quadratic into vertex form by completing the square. And this is useful if you want to find obviously the vertex or a second point without drawing a table. Looking at the standard form here, we know that the y-intercept is -25, but we don't know much else about this. And so if we want to complete the square, the first thing we've got to do, since this isn't a perfect square and it's not easily factorizable, we need to get this a value here to equal 1. And so in order to do that, we'll divide the whole thing by that -2 there. And we get x squared minus 8x plus 25 over 2. Change the sign because we're dividing a negative by a negative. And we have to do to the right what we do to the left. Always has to be balanced. We're going to get negative y over 2 there, or y over -2. Next, we'll move that c term, since this is not a perfect square, we're going to move that to the right by using the additive inverse, or by subtracting. And so we get x squared minus 8x equals negative y over 2 minus 25 over 2. And now we can complete the square. A perfect square trinomial looks like x squared plus bx plus b over 2 squared. And so in order to get that b over 2 squared as a c term, I'm going to take half of this -8 and square it, so -4 squared, which is 16. And I'm going to add that to both sides. Negative x squared minus 8x, the middle term doesn't change. And I'm going to add to that 16, and that's equal to negative y over 2 minus 25 over 2 plus 16. Again, what I do with one side I have to do to the other, or it's not fair, it's not balanced. And so now I can begin to factorize and solve for y, or get y isolated on one side. So if I have this perfect square trinomial, then I can factorize it easily into x plus b over 2 quantity squared. That's what I have now. So I'm just going to have x minus 4 squared. B over 2 is -4. And that's still equal to y, negative y over 2, minus 25 over 2 plus 16. Now I could combine like terms by getting a common denominator between 25 halves and 16. But instead I'm just going to move this stuff over to the left for now, and then see where I can get from there. So I'm going to get x squared, so not x squared, you're going to get x minus 4 squared. Change the sign here from a subtraction to addition. Plus 25 over 2. Change the other sign to negative. Minus 16 is equal to negative y over 2. And then to get that y alone, I'm going to multiply everything by -2. And so we'll give ourselves a little bit of a divider there. We get -2 x minus 4 quantity squared plus, minus, divide a positive by negative, we get a negative. 25 over 2 times 2 is just 25. And then change the negative sign to a positive and multiply 16 by 2, we get 32. And that's just equal to y. Now if I want to just see that this is the same as this, we can put it in that snowflake box. We get x -4, x -4. Our product of -4 is 16. That checks out here. Minus 4x minus 4x. Sum those together, we get -8x. That checks out there. You can also just do FOIL, x minus 4 times x minus 4. First, outside, inside, last. X squared minus 4x minus 4x plus 16. Same thing. Or there's the box method. There's a third way. Put it in a different color. X minus 4, x minus 4. There might even be a fourth way. We get x squared minus 4x minus 4x plus 14, plus 16, excuse me. So that checks out. Now I can combine like terms. I like to move y over to the left-hand side. So I get y is equal to -2. That's our a value. That tells us it's facing downward. This negative tells us it's facing downward. And the 2 tells us it's been stretched vertically or shrunk horizontally, either way you want to look at it. X minus 4, that means our x value of the vertex, our axis of symmetry, is 4. And minus 25 plus 32 is plus 7. So our HK for the vertex is equal to 4 and 7. Now we can go on and find the K value to find the focus. The focus is, find the P value. HK plus P, where P is equal to 1 over 4A, or 1 over 4 times -2, or negative 0.125. And so our K plus P then is 7 minus 0.125, or 6.875. And then likewise the directrix D is y is equal to K minus P, or 7 minus negative 0.125, or 7.125. And that makes sense because in a downward facing parabola, the directrix is above it, the focus is always within it. And in the next video, I'll look at this parabola and try to solve for x using the quadratic formula. This has been Dr. T's Algebra 2. Thank you.